A Mortal's Journey to Immortality Episode 282. In the previous episode, the fierce border battle between the Heavenly South cultivators and the Moulan tribes came to an unexpected pause. Han Li's incredible power had crushed the copper-armored corpses and the sacred bird, tipping the scales in their favor. Yet, a greater threat emerged as the Soaring Tribes attacked the Moulan, forcing former enemies into a reluctant alliance. The Heavenly South powers negotiated with the Moulan, granting them 2 countries to secure their survival while ensuring a united front against the looming invasion. At the end of the previous episode, Han Li returned to the Drifting Cloud Sect, leaving behind the bright origin lantern and witnessing the uneasy peace that now stretched across the battlefield. What will happen next? Stay tuned. And the story continues. On his way back to the Drifting Cloud Sect, Han Li glanced at the storage pouch at his waist, when Han Li returned the ancient lantern in exchange for the rare materials. The Moulan had returned the flower basket ancient treasure and the Purple Cloudlace without any prior discussion. It was clear that the Moulan understood the delicate balance required to survive in the Heavenly South. They could not afford to offend powerful cultivators unnecessarily, and by returning these treasures, they ensured that no grudges would remain between them and Han Li. The young cultivator's extraordinary power had not gone unnoticed, and even the Moulan divine sages seemed wary of him. With these treasures back in his possession, Han Li immediately gave the Purple Cloudlace to Silvermoon, knowing how effectively she had used it while in her demon fox body. It was a small gesture of gratitude, but Han Li never considered himself ungrateful. Meanwhile, news of the alliance between the Heavenly South cultivators and the Moulan spread rapidly. The Soaring Tribes, who had previously been aggressive at the borders, grew hesitant. They stationed a large number of cultivators along the Moulan plains, but they did not immediately attack. Instead, they observed cautiously, trying to understand the intentions behind this alliance. From the perspective of the Heavenly South, this hesitation only heightened the concern of leaders like Master Sunreach. The apparent deliberation of the Soaring Tribes suggested a greater intent to invade the Heavenly South continent. Knowing that a confrontation would not occur immediately, the powers of the Heavenly South continued their usual rotations at the border. Each sect sent elite disciples to assist the Moulan and ensure a rapid response if the Soaring Tribes attacked. Others were allowed to return to their respective sects, maintaining a sense of order and preparation. As a Drifting Cloud Sect elder, Han Li had responsibilities alongside senior martial brother Lu. After confirming that most of the sect disciples had returned safely, he was able to journey back to the sect, while Lu Luo stayed behind to handle other matters. Han Li used the wind-riding chariot to speed up his travel, slicing through the remaining distance to the Drifting Cloud Sect in record time. Yet, when he entered the state of Shi, he carefully stowed the chariot to avoid drawing unnecessary attention. The last 100 kilometers passed almost instantaneously, and as the Dreamcloud Mountains appeared in the distance, a faint smile crossed his face at the thought of Nangong Wan's beauty. However, upon arriving at the sect, Han Li did not head directly to his cave residence. Instead, he was brought to a secret room radiating glacial energy. Inside, he was met with a shocking sight. Nangong Wan had been transformed into a 7-year-old child and sealed within a slab of ice. Her eyes were closed, and she appeared completely unaware of her surroundings. Han Li's face immediately darkened with fury and concern. Senior Martial Brother Cheng, his silver-haired senior, looked at him with a bitter smile. If Junior Martial Brother Han had returned just 2 weeks earlier, he said, "You might have been able to prevent this. Her life is not in immediate danger, but she is forced to use this method to delay the activation of the Soul Seal Curse." Han Li's heart skipped a beat. "The Soul Seal Curse?" he asked sharply. "How could a Yin curse take effect here? Wasn't it lost long ago in the Heavenly South?" He paused, as a sudden thought formed in his mind. Senior Martial Brother Cheng nodded gravely and explained the events leading to Nangong Wan's current state. About half a month ago, Nangong Wan had gone out to absorb the frost from a nearby mountain, intending to enhance her incarnation arts. Unexpectedly, she encountered a black-robed man. The man immediately attacked her with a ferocious Devil Dao technique, easily breaking through her protective treasures. Nangong Wan tried to escape toward her cave residence and called for help. By the time Senior Marshal Brother Cheng and the Drifting Cloud Sect disciples arrived, she had already been captured. The black-robed man pressed his finger against her forehead and then released her without a fight, leaving behind a jade slip before disappearing at lightning speed. The sect attempted to attack him, but the man did not resist. His cultivation and technique were too formidable. Nangong Wan was brought back to the sect, and it was then that they discovered she had been afflicted by the Soul Seal Curse. This ancient curse, thought to be lost in the heavenly south, slowly destroyed a target's intellect and spirit, eventually turning the victim into a living corpse. Faced with this dire threat, Nangong Wan acted decisively. Using her greater incarnation arts, she sealed herself in glacial energy. This frozen state would not only protect her body but also drastically slow the effects of the Soul Seal Curse. Buying precious time, Senior Marshal Brother Cheng handed Han Li 2 jade slips. One left by the black-robed man for Nangong Wan and another specifically for Han Li. Han Li first read the azure jade slip intended for Nangong Wan. As he immersed his spiritual sense into it, a complex mixture of emotions crossed his face. Although worried, he also felt gratitude. This surprised Senior Marshal Brother Cheng, who had never read the slip himself due to a subtle trap it contained that revealed if someone else had seen it first. Han Li then moved on to the crimson jade slip intended for himself. Once he read it, his expression darkened further. In a surge of fury, he immolated both jade slips in purple flames. Senior Marshal Brother Cheng watched in astonishment, recognizing the display of power. Even jade slips that were not meticulously refined were difficult to destroy. Yet Han Li had done so effortlessly. This confirmed the rumors that his strength rivaled that of mid-nascent soul cultivators, marking him as an extraordinary figure within the Drifting Cloud Sect. Han Li turned to the senior and asked about the black-robed man who had attacked Nangong Wan. "Did you catch his face? Was he tall? What was his cultivation? Perhaps he is someone I know." Senior Marshal Brother Cheng described the man as a tall youth with an ordinary face, likely concealing his true cultivation. He estimated the man was at least mid-nascent soul stage, far exceeding the average youth. His appearance had been altered by medicine or technique, but his age was certainly older than Han Li's, based on the jade slip left behind. The man desired Han Li to bring his treasure, refined from golden lightning bamboo, to the profound heaven mountains. Han Li considered this information carefully. He suspected the man was indeed a Devil Dao cultivator from the Jin Empire's Yin Sifting sect. Originally, Han Li had thought that any vendetta from the sect would be for the killing of one of their members. But it became clear that they were after the golden lightning bamboo treasure itself. The incident had inadvertently drawn Nangong Wan into danger, but now he knew the threat and could act with precision. A cold determination settled over Han Li's face. Senior Marshal Brother Cheng reflected aloud on the situation. This comes as no surprise. Golden lightning bamboo is legendary for its ability to restrain devilish arts. And since they're from the Jin Empire, they don't have to show any restraint in dealing with cultivators from the heavenly south. How about this? I'll invite some of my close friends to join together and find that man. In this episode, we saw Han Li returning to the Drifting Cloud Sect after exchanging the ancient lantern for rare materials and receiving back the treasured items from the Moulan. He rewarded Silvermoon with the Purple Cloudlace for her efforts and observed the growing tension between the heavenly south and the Soaring Tribes. Most importantly, Han Li discovered that Nangong Wan had been cursed with the Soul Seal Curse and had sealed herself in ice to slow its effects. Buying time to survive, he also received jade slips from the mysterious black-robed attacker, revealing a connection to a powerful Devil Dao cultivator and the coveted golden lightning bamboo treasure. The episode ends with Han Li determined to uncover the identity of this enemy and protect those he cares about. What happens next? Stay tuned for the next episode of A Mortal's Journey to Immortality. If you enjoyed this episode or found it exciting, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to get the latest updates on Han Li's journey. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.